You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, YNR fans, I've got your early weekly spoilers for October 21st through the 25th. Adam Newman is pushing back, and it looks like Chance is ready to make an arrest. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. And as we always do on early edition day, we started with what is happening the rest of this week, just to give you some context. With that in mind, on Wednesday, October 16th, Audra is trying to get gossip from somebody at Glissade, but they just hang up on her. She has nobody she can get dirt from there anymore. And she sees Jack and runs over to him and, tries to tell him she's sorry about what she and Tucker did. She's grasping at straws. Jack really doesn't want to talk to her. And then Audra vents that Kyle got her fired. And she breaks her NDA and confirms that Victor owns Glissade and is the one who is manipulating Kyle to be such a terrible human being right now. Jack suspected all of this, and Audra proposes a deal. She'll get Glissade, he'll get Kyle back, and Jack says, nope, no thanks, no deal. You will never get Glissade back, and there's no way you're going to beat Victor. And she vows to make it happen and storms off. Victor orders Adam to trash Abbott Chancellor using Newman media. Adam is perfectly happy to make Billy look bad and like he's out of control. And then Victor also wants him to make sure to bury the truth of Audra's exit from Glissade. And Adam brings up the fact that he thinks Glissade is as big of a mess as Abbott Chancellor is. Victor doesn't like that because it's being run by his new little surrogate son, Kyle. And Victor says it's going to be just fine. But Adam really doesn't want any part of something that is going to hurt Jack or his family. But Victor's attitude is, if Javot has to burn so Glissade can thrive, then that's how it's got to be. Adam doesn't like it. He storms out, runs into Michael, and asks about this plan to target Jack. Michael plays dumb and says he's just trying to get back on Victor's good side. And Michael says he is sure that whatever Victor is doing, whether he has a plan or not, Jack and Diane can handle it. And Adam says that Victor has plans for Kyle, but anytime he is playing dad to somebody, it's always a double-edged sword. And Michael, of course, runs right in and tells Victor everything that Adam says. Victor is not very happy about Adam's residual loyalty to Jack and says that Adam better do what he told him to do or he is going to fire him. Speaking of firing, Phyllis is not very happy when Billy tells her that Jill ordered him to undo everything he's done, which includes firing Lily and hiring Phyllis. And Jill is, not a big fan of Phyllis. Phyllis thinks that she can convince Jill and win her over. She wants to try and talk her out of this. Billy said, that's a terrible idea. Basically, I have to fire you. And she's like, no, you really don't. And he's like, I do, or I'm going to get fired. And Phyllis suggests that he pretend to fire her and keep using her and then just pay her wages later. But he is just very frustrated. And Phyllis keeps pushing and then also wants him to rehire Daniel. And Billy just doesn't know what to do. Speaking of Daniel, Chance is at his apartment. He's found the phone and he's got the bloody towels, is asking Daniel where they came from. Daniel's got no idea. And he's asking how the phone even ended up there since somebody else had it and was sending the text. They find out that the code on the phone has been changed. Daniel is able to reset it and gives it to Chance, who goes through the phone and finds an unsent text to Heather's dad, Paul, saying that she has been fighting a lot with Daniel, who is having anger issues that are out of control and getting worse. Daniel is completely shocked. He said, none of this is true. He loved Heather. She was his everything. And he asked if he is a suspect. Chance says they need to search the whole apartment. So Daniel has to leave because it is a crime scene. Things are getting bad. Thursday, October 17th. Things are tense between Jack and Diane. I'm guessing he's going to tell her that Audra confirmed their worst suspicions. Anytime things are tense between them, it's always about Kyle. Daniel is in a very tough spot because of Sharon's frame-up job, and it doesn't look good. I mean, I don't think it's going to hold long term, but for right now, it looks bad. And Kyle gets in even deeper with Victor when he makes yet another risky deal. On Friday, October 18th, we've got the 30th anniversary episode celebrating Michelle Stafford's debut as Phyllis Summers. She's going to spend some time hanging out with Lucy Romalotti, telling her all about her glory days. Look for lots of flashbacks, but also some of the plot line moving forward when Phyllis hears more about what's going on with Daniel, and I'm sure there's going to be some Sharon angst, all that good stuff. Then the week of October 21st through the 25th, Phyllis, of course, is annoyed that Billy may have to fire her. She is definitely plotting a way to stay on at Abbott Chancellor, but that annoyance over the job is going to pale in comparison once she finds out that Chance is actually looking at Daniel as a suspect in Heather's slaying. Summer is also going to be shocked by what Chance tells her. She does not think any of this is true. Chance is having to take it all at face value, and hopefully the forensics on that phone are going to show that that unsent text was drafted after Heather died. That could really help Daniel's case. The forensics team at Daniel's apartment should absolutely find traces of Heather's blood, but also Daniel has very solid alibis. So, Sharon has set him up in a lot of ways, but then Daniel has the truth on his side. So we'll see. Phyllis already warned Sharon that she will never forget her targeting Heather and Lucy and Daniel. So I just wonder if it may dawn on very clever Phyllis that all of this evidence is very neatly wrapped up and might be a setup. She's always thinking outside the box because she's devious, and this is something she would have done to someone. Meanwhile, Adam is bristling against Victor's orders. He is very suspicious about Victor taking Kyle under his wing while plotting against Jack. I don't think Adam is jealous of Kyle getting close to him. I think Adam is suspicious and not so much worried about Kyle, who he thinks is an entitled brat, but worried about how this is hurting Jack. And I do expect Adam to go to Jack and check in with him. And if Jack tells Adam about the product that Kyle stole, I'm sure Adam's going to know that was Victor exploiting Kyle to get him to betray his family and widen that gap between them. This could all be a deal breaker for Adam. I just wonder if he may step away and just let Victor keep his devious new son, Kyle. Adam has no issue using Newman Media to make Billy look bad, but this Jabot stuff is a problem. Sharon keeps on with her lies, but she's not going to get away with it for much longer. Billy opens up to Sally about his mom Jill's ultimatum, his frustrations with Lily, and not being sure what to do about this mess. He feels pretty confident that he's doing the right thing, but Jill is on fire. Amy Lewis is back the following week, so we'll hear more from Nate about her. He should probably tell Devon soon about what happened when he left town to see Amy, and of course, we're going to find out why is she coming to town.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.